Good evening and welcome back. This is day 2 of our coverage within the AfriCanadian community. And tonight we are going to bring you more of details of what we're looking at when we talk about the continental African Canadian community, especially for the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center as an organization, also as with our partners and individuals that has worked with us. So without further ado, welcome and let's do this. Hello and welcome to the African Canadian Resource Center. My name is Kizito Musabimana and I am the founder and executive director of the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center. Tonight I'm going to bring you one of the very many programs that we're going to bring you over the course of the next 3 months. This is as a result of the funding that the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center received from the Red Cross with the partnership with the government of Canada. And it is to help tell stories of the African Canadian communities, learning about COVID, learning about the challenges that individuals are facing in the community, but also to see how we can move forward from this. Tonight, we are going to talk about these in details about what the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center is doing, but also what we can do going forward. What can we provide as an organization? What can members of the Rwandan community, what can members of the African community do together to create bridges, to help one another, to make sure that we don't fall behind because of COVID. One of the things that we learned throughout history, and you learn through many people that we talk to, for example, in 2008, when the recession hit, a lot of our people fell behind. And we want to make sure that that does not happen again. So why did we bring the African Canadian Resource Center forward? Why did we want to do this project? It is for projects like this, to learn about other communities, to learn about what's going on, to see if there's anything resource-wise, information-wise, that we can access together. So tonight, you're going to learn about all of that. I'll see you in a second.
My name is Julienne Mohoza. I am advisor of RCHC, Rwandan Canadian Healing Center Board. And I am co-founder of Immigrant Young Women Horizon with the mission of mentoring young women in different areas, such as leadership, culture, education, and so on. As we know, we have some people, like other communities, with trauma, depending on the background. So building the RCHC, like Canadian Healing Center, it's really something that we need our community, not only in the Rwandan community, but African, Canadian, whoever needs it, it's something that is very valuable. Africa, even the whole world, because this is not only here. This is not only here. It's for everyone. As I was saying, you may know about Rwandan Canadian Healing Center. It has so many programs. One of them is training for leaders, like leadership training for community leaders. And it happened that I was one of leaders that participated in that training. And really, I really learned a lot in that training. It added value on what I'm doing, especially for my organization, Immigrant Young Women Horizon. So I will call upon our fellow leaders, African Canadian leaders in our community to come together, learn, refresh our mind, add our value on what we are doing so we can build our community, we can make our community strong more than it is today. Yeah, and I love to be part of this, and I'm proud to be part of this. And I will do my best to make it happen, to make it, to contribute to my country, Canada, my community, my continent, Africa, of course, to leave the world the best place to live.
Okay, thanks for having me, Zito. My name is Emmanuel Meles. I am the executive director of an organization called NAPSI, the Network for the Advancement of Black Communities, which was established about 2.5 years at York University with the intent to advance Black communities around. Main focus, we do a number of things, but our main focus is systems change. We're trying to we call ourselves, we are in that interface between governments, community leaders, Black leaders, and funders, and other allies in terms of really addressing some long-standing challenges I'm happy to talk to you about of Black communities, yeah. Earlier I was saying that it's time for us to stop tinkering at the edges, trying to treat the symptoms of our problems. We need to really understand the underlying causes, yeah, the root cause of our challenges. If we know that, then we can say, okay, what are the solutions that are needed? The solutions reside in the space of innovation, creativity, humility, collaboration, you know, moving away from I and being in that space that I was saying. To do that, we need something that brings all these different aspects together, yeah? When I was teaching in the course, you remember I spoke about the work that Otto Scharmer has done around, you know, theory, you know, the need to suspend the inner voices of cynicism, judgment, and fear. You know, the need to step back and hear from others, yeah? Why I was so connected to that? Because it made absolute sense. If I hold the space for the rest of us, I will be the first one to benefit out of it, yeah? So I think the idea of having some sort of a hub, an African hub that brings all these things that I mentioned, the opportunity to innovate, to create, to be humble, to look at ideas, to collaborate, gives me some hope that we can actually do that. So an African hub for me, it's a place of trying to bring funding, collaboration, innovation. I spoke, you heard me speaking about a particular type of leadership, system leadership.
Yes.
Our problems are system focused.
Yeah.
We need system leadership. And there's an art, there's a knowledge, there's a practice to that, yeah? So for me, the African hub would be the place where it's almost like a laboratory. We bring our problems there and say, bring the artist, bring the phase leader, bring the corporate leader, bring the government, bring all these players and saying, okay, how do we tackle this problem? You know, how do you eat an elephant? You know, that's the thing.
One piece
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think for me, the African hub, it's a place where technology, innovation, knowledge, collaboration all come together to tackle our problems. Yeah, and I think given lessons learned of yesteryears, I strongly believe that this should be young-led. It has to be led by young people. And people like myself and others in my generation have to come into that space as adult champions and mentors, and not necessarily leading this. So I strongly believe as a principle that young leaders have to lead this, you know, for the reasons that we said earlier on, how you multitask, how you come in and out, and you're open to different ways of doing business. And I think such a solution is needed for now and is needed for the next 15, 20 years.
My name is Julienne Mohoza. I am advisor of RCHC.
The AfriCanadian. So as you've seen tonight, many of the people that we are listening to, many of the people that we talked to over the course of the day, today and over the last few days, you can tell the interest that they have to help create a platform or to help create a community that is more united, that is more connected. So what we are trying to do, as you see, and as you're going to see throughout this program, is to continue to have these kinds of conversations. So what is the African Canadian experience like? You will have heard from individuals like Julien in the interview. You've heard it from individuals like, of course, Emmanuel Melis. I have so many people, Jonathan and others that have joined us. What you see or what you learn is that there is a need for us as groups, as individuals, to work together, to create and to find solutions that is required in order to move our generations towards the future. So please understand that what this platform is going to do is specifically that, to make sure that our people not only have the knowledge and understanding, but also the capacity, the resource, the information they need. That is what the AfriCanadian is about. So without further ado, let's have another conversation. As you know, this is the program that is going to provide more of this, so we're going to continue with the program as usual.
A coronavirus is a type of virus that can infect the respiratory tract, meaning the nose, mouth, throat, sinuses, or lungs. There are many types of coronaviruses, and most cause only mild illness, such as the common cold. But some coronaviruses can cause severe illness. The most likely way people can become infected is by droplets that contain the virus. These droplets carry the virus into the air and can enter through the nose, mouth, throat, and lungs of a person who is within 6 feet or 2 meters. The virus infects the lungs, causing the lungs to become inflamed. The alveolar sacs have to be healthy for the body to breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Infection of the virus causes damage to the cells of the lungs and triggers an inflammatory reaction. Fever may develop. With severe inflammation, inflammatory fluid fills the lungs. This reduces the function of the alveoli, resulting in coughing and difficulty breathing. The oxygen level in the blood may decrease. In some people who become severely ill, other organs may be affected, such as the kidneys or the heart.
For you, and then I'm going to cut you once you're ready. I'll let you know. Hello, thank you for following that program. As you can see, we are really trying to get involved in the community. We're trying to learn as much as we can in the community. And part of doing that is because we realize the importance of knowing who each one of us is and where we are as a group. Right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring you a team of our board of directors. They are also members of the Rwandan Canadian community, and I want you to meet my board of directors, but also my friends and incredible people in our community. So without further ado, welcome Joe and Joe, as we call them in the community. Jocelyn and Jocelyn, how are you?
We're good. How are you, Kizito?
Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you see us okay? Can you hear us okay?
We see you, Josephine, if you can just center your computer a little bit. Sorry, Jocelyn. If you can center your computer a little bit. There you go. There
Perfect. You are.
All right, let's do this. So, my first question to both of you, and Josephine, you can go first if you like. Who are you and what should people know about you?
Well, I am with Kizito all the way because of your heart and your passion for the African Canadian community. I am African and I am Canadian. So anybody who has a passion to connect people, to be the hub and the voice, and I am with them. So I am on the board as an advisor for you. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot to say in the community, but I am really honored to be a part of the team, just to contribute to my thoughts, my ideas, and then everything else that I really have learned in this country and as an African woman as well.
Thank you so much. And people don't know, but the way we met, I remember I was back home and you reached out and you showed me like the work that Shelter Them does, and to hear you say you're with me, you're with us, and those are the kinds of things that I hear and that gives me the energy to move forward, because really you guys are busy doing your own work in the community, but still you find time to be on the board of our organization. So thank you for that. And I'll probably ask the same question to Jocelyn. Jocelyn, I know you guys are twins, and most of the things you do, people outside think you are like, you are actually identical twins, but you are sort of different in a way. What is like, who are you, and I guess what makes you think as an individual?
Yeah, I am a person who, first of all, I am a wife and a mother of a little girl, Leah, she's 6. And I think when somebody asks me who um, I am a person who I want to live my life with a purpose. I want to live life that when I'm doing all I can do for me, I just don't be comfortable and content by doing for me, my own, my family. Who I am is really to serve, to live a purpose. What is my purpose in this life? What makes me smile? What makes me happy? You know, somebody asked me one time, Jocelyn, why are you always smiling and happy? And just that, just kind of, I reflected to that. I was like, why? It's because I love to serve and I like to help people need either a hug, a simple thing, or say good morning, or making an impact, a big impact in somebody's life. So for me, being a part of an organization that supports our people, either London, which I am, Canadian I am, around the world, it's just who I am. It's serve thy neighbor, help somebody who's in need. So that's pretty much the description of who I am. I am who I am to serve and to make a difference in the world.
Amazing. I think looking at and knowing you both, one of the things I know is that smile. You know, I feel like I can't compete when it comes to the smile. I feel like it's one of my identity. But you ladies have an incredible laughter. You have a joy. Like, I think the thing that makes you thick and strong about is how incredible you are with people. You know, the love you have, and so anytime someone is around you, they are rich for it. And I'm so glad to have met you, and obviously to be able to receive your service, and it's something that I cherish so much. And
I actually forgot to mention who I am with the organization. I am a board member and a secretary, and I'm always just excited to work with you guys, and our team are amazing, work hard, and of course, I think you're the driver, you're the leader, you're just out there. But hey, I got your hands when you're tired. I'll just pick them up.
Thank you so much. It's what I said earlier. It requires the belief of the community, and I think within the Rwandan community, I've met so many people, and you two were like the key to pushing me to believing that sometimes it's not everybody that sees that vision, but the few that see it are the important ones to get you to where you want to go. And obviously where we are right now as an organization, having been able to do the leadership training and now stepping into telling stories, continental African Canadian community stories, is an incredible achievement for us, knowing where we were a year ago. My question, I guess, would be, not that I guess I know this, but maybe for the audience, what made you sign up to be a part of this initiative, the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center?
If I can speak for myself, Kizito, just by looking at you and what you're doing, and that really made me feel like this is a team that I would like to be a part of. You first, your passion and your love for people, what you have gone through, your story. So that touched me. It was easy to join for me because it's not hard to convince me to be a as a Canadian Rwandan African woman. So for me, it was just you, to be honest with you, that pushed me to join and then just to encourage you and to support you and to support our community. It was very easy.
Thank you so much. And I feel like if I could buy time, I feel the same way about you and what you do in the community. It's just a matter of sort of deciding, because the other thing I've learned is if you want to do something, you do it 100%. And I try so much to see where I can allocate time, but I know the work that you do in the community. So again, saying this, thank you so much for believing in me, believing in our cause. And this is just the start of a long journey. But I just want to hear from Jocelyn as well. what got you to sign up for this? Because you guys know the first time you met me, you know, the walk and everything. Sometimes I talk about things like Mexico. For most people, it's something where they look at it and be like, oh, that's too much. But you guys agreed to be a part of it. What got you to sign up for this? By the way, Jocelyn, I don't know if you're still with us.
You're welcome.
Jocelyn?
It looks like Jocelyn is frozen a bit.
Jocelyn, until we can have Jocelyn back, maybe we can continue talking. So, Jocelyn, what do you see as going? I know you know
Kizito,
we're working on these
if you don't mind me interrupting for a
community
second, I actually
engagements with.
can't hear you very well.
Which I think Jocelyn has to get back to us. Okay, you know what? Let's go to commercial. I'll come back to you both. Come back to you both in a few seconds. To join the screen again. Hello, welcome back. So I think we're having a bit of technical difficulties, but please bear with us. We will be able to bring everybody back if we can. But in the meantime, what I was just talking about, or what we're going to get into, is the work that we have ahead as an organization and how or what we plan to do. Not only looking at the COVID response and everything, but more about the work that has to be done like long term. We're talking about the next 4 years and even over the next 10 years or so, if you will. So we want to be able to actually talk about that and maybe discuss about it in terms of what is the vision and also what is their work, their individual work in the community. So if we can get back to Josephine and Jocelyn in a few minutes, that's something we can actually continue to talk about. There you go. So Josephine, welcome back. Listen, I know we're having a bit of technical difficulties. Hopefully you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
I cannot hear you now. I don't know what happened on my end. Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you really well. I'm okay.
Josephine, I cannot hear you anymore. I don't know what happened to the feed. Go again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. Okay, so Josephine, no, Jocelyn, I cannot hear you. We're waiting for you to actually join again. So if you can do that, we will bring you back in. But Josephine, maybe you can talk a bit more about what's your work in the community over the last few months during COVID. What has the work in the community been for you and the organization that you lead?
With the them?
Or
for your community, your work as an individual within the community, specifically for you.
For me,
I have been just calling and getting together with some of the Rwandan ladies and just to check up on them and see how they're doing. I mean, you know, the patios were open, you know, a few weeks ago, maybe more than that. And I thought it would be nice for some people who are working from home, who have children, to just reconnect with them and go to grab a coffee and talk and see how they're doing and how they're coping with work, working from home, it's a challenge. We all have to adjust. We're the children. I mean, the school's back on now. It's not easy when you have young children. My kids are teenagers, so it's not that bad. But again, it's really a challenge. Seeing that with the funding that we received, that we have this 3 months program that's going to be helping people to provide them with the resources and the information that they might need to cope and to adjust during this uncertain time. I'm really proud of that, what you're doing with the AfriCanadian Resource Center, Kizito. But that's what I've been doing, just for connecting with some people, just grabbing a coffee and having a chat.
Amazing. Like I said, I know there is always so much that's going on, and for me, it's always like I think we need to take even more time to highlight your work and what you do in the community, because I think we are all sort of doing the individual work, whether it's individual organizations, and one of the things that we as an organization wish to do is bring all of that together, highlight everything. All right, so we welcome back Jocelyn. Thank you for joining us back again. Yeah, that's amazing. Anyway, so now let's ask you the same thing, and maybe since you are on our board of directors, let me ask you a more specific question for the RCHC. Where do you see our organization going within the next let's say 4 to 5 years? You know what we're doing with this platform. Also we are looking to go do more work with in the healing community. Within the healing areas. Where do you see, based on your view of what we're doing, where do you see us going in the next 4 to 5 years?
So, of course, our main goal is to build the community, the center. That would be the whole, our vision, to have a place, our own place, where we can have enough members, employees to serve our people and to help them to go through this life of challenge as African, as our past that always comes back and haunts us, as the immigrant, as the newcomers, whatever the challenges brings as a part of African Canadian. So we do have a long way to go. As you know, I speak for myself because I came in Canada in 1997, and thank God I have my twin sister with me, and together it was more strength than weakness. People, they don't have that company. They don't have resources. They don't have support. I was listening to the interview yesterday, as today, you're mentioning that actually in Canada, we don't have a support for African community, African Canadian community center, where people can actually just be supported in any way, COVID-19 or any other elements that really comes as a challenge. So really, in 5 years, pick up from where we're starting already. We're a new organization, and look how much work we're already accomplished. Look at the support we're getting from the government, from this big organization supporting our work. It's because they believe in us. They believe in our vision. So in 5 years, I like to thrive. I like to, as we go up with our different activities, different projects, bring our people, humans, to become humans. Humans to come from the ditch of a depression, of oppression, of what we go through, to become people who have a vision and a purpose and enjoys life. Because some people, they don't enjoy life because they're trapped and they don't know how to come out of it. So we're here to do that. And we will do that. And I know it's going to take time, but looking how we started, when we started, and where we're now today, we're doing great. In 5 years, I have a hope and I have faith.
Absolutely.
Good things will come from our team.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100%. And one thing I know that you both have always reminded me is to focus on what I believe in. And honestly, if I can tell you, both you, Josephine and Jocelyn, the support you've shown me during the last 3 years, and even though we don't get to talk as much as we wish to, has been immensely great, because you know sometimes you come and you rejoin a community and you need somebody to hold your back and say, no, you can do this. Even if you still believe it, you always need somebody to push you. And I feel like both of you, of course the rest of our board of directors, were incredible when it came to making me believe that yes, even sometimes things can get difficult, some things can get challenging, but you always reminded me that it doesn't matter as long as you believe in what you believe in. So with that, I would always appreciate you. I would always appreciate that support. And of course, looking forward, I can't wait to see what we do together, whether it's through this organization of ours or any other entities like the Shelter Them that you both lead. My question to Josephine is, so Josephine, you know, so I'm going back to the answer that you gave earlier. Right now within the African community, the challenge we have, which is why we have this platform, is we don't really get to know what's going on around different communities. You actually have to be in a bubble. This is what I call it. We are all in different bubbles. Like if you're in the Rwandan community, it's a bubble. If you're in the Somalian community, it's a bubble. There is no connections that we wish we could have. And one of the things I'm really interested in knowing, I obviously that's why we have this platform, is to make sure we provide that access and communication and everything like that. But what do you think? Do you think it's an achievable goal? How do you think, how do we get there, other than maybe these media platforms and correcting resources and contacts? What is your opinion on when it comes to connecting continental African Canadian communities?
I went to Brampton once, and I was attending one of the organizations that is putting the Black community together. And I was pretty proud of them. And they actually eventually started a group on WhatsApp where different
Josephine,
entrepreneurs. Yeah.
can you get closer to the mic? We can't hear you really well.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now better?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you can
good.
adjust a little.
Perfect. That was perfect.
Is that better?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, so I think, like you said, there is a lot of separated or segregated areas in our communities, because if I am Rwandan, I'm going to be together with Rwandan. If I'm from Burundi, Congo, I'm going to have people of my own. And how do we get them together? Like I was saying, I went to Brampton with the mayor, Patrick Brown. Through his administration, there was a group of people who connected themselves through WhatsApp group. And these are different people from different countries in Africa. And I thought, how do we connect with the different communities? This is exactly what we're doing. What you're doing, Kizito, it's raising more awareness and telling people that is one platform that it can get everybody who are in their own little space, and to bring them together in one space, in one platform where we can talk different topics, different subjects. And so this is really the way to do it. And I think you're already doing it. We just need to get out more in a different networking and different groups and tell them, by the way, there is one place. There is one place we can all meet and talk and chat and connect without everybody being in their own. So like interconnectivity, because we're all connected, but on the smaller scales. Now we need to connect under one place, one space, and that's what you're exactly doing. So for me, my job would be, if I meet a person from Senegal or Congo, I'll be like, by the way, do you know there is this group that you can join and all African Canadian people can meet on one platform? So tell people, let's tell our friends, our families, our coworkers, anybody we meet, that there's one space they can get the information and resources that we need. Just tell people.
Absolutely. I mean, it takes a village. I believe this, as an African proverb says. It takes a village to raise a child, and I think it's going to take all of us to come together to create a future that is different than what we have found. And I think one of the things that I've found, one of the things I've found throughout the African Canadian community, or African Canadians, African communities in general, is there is a desire, there is a need for this kind of collaboration, and we hope to play a part in bringing all of that together. Maybe one last question to each of you is, what's, other than your position within the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center, tell the audience where they can find you, what kind of projects. I know, Josephine, you spoke on that a little bit earlier, but what are we looking for in the coming days from your individual organizations and community?
I mean, you have so much that you are posting on Mondays through this 3-month program, Kizito. So on my Facebook, on my social medias, I like to connect with people and tell them what's going on as a part of advocating and telling people that this actually exists. So for me, that's what I'm going to be doing. Is getting out there through different channels, whether it's in person or through Facebook or YouTube, and let people know that we're here, and people can connect through our website, all the platforms that exist out there, to tell people that we're here and we're here to help them, serve them, and just interconnect and make one platform for everyone.
Yep, I think Josephine got it. Just using a social media. I think these days it's really what's working for us. And of course, it won't hurt to pick up the phone and call some individuals and then just get that one-on-one connection. But for sure, keep up the awareness, keep up communicating with people about what's happening. People we're listening to so many news and bad things. It's always just that bad news. But people just need to hear that, hey, there's this happening, and this is for you, and this is for our people. And if people are just dying because there's not enough information, but good news of what's happening. So yeah, let's just not be shy. Keep the words out there. There's a powerful, words in our tongue, in action. So let's just use those tools, social medias, all these tools, to communicate and to pass on the good news of what we are doing, our team is doing, and I think people will appreciate that. So I'm out there. I'm gonna keep it up.
Amazing.
I'm not gonna be quiet about it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I think we could go on forever about what we are working on. We can go on forever about our passions in the community, about our passions in life. And I could listen to you all both forever, because again, I've enjoyed your company in terms of what you have to share, the things you believe in, and your work in the community. And I think having you as members of our community is definitely a bonus and something for me I appreciate. And I know many of us as Rwandans, we appreciate your presence in our community. So yeah, let's keep doing this, and I wish you all the best in the community, and for your support within the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center, even more so. I appreciate you, and I thank you, and I look forward to what we're going to achieve together in many years to come.
For sure. Together, we are strong. That's my last word. Together as a community, not separated, not dismembered. Together, we are strong.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Jocelyn, have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kizito.
Thank you.
There are several practical measures you can take to protect yourself from the new coronavirus. One of the most important is regular, safe, and effective hand hygiene, using soap and water or alcohol-based hand rub. Here are the steps recommended by WHO to follow. you too can have safe and clean hands anywhere. Now I'm calling on the world to take the WHO Safe Hands Challenge to be ready for coronavirus.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us tonight. As you can see, RCHC, the Rwandan Canadian Healing Center, has an incredible team behind it. You've just met a couple of them, but there are so many of us here. There is, of course, the board of directors, but also the team that we are developing and building, the partnership that we are also creating over the last couple of years. Even for me as an individual, honestly, I'm very excited to see where this is going to lead, because when I started this journey 4 years ago, my journey towards this started a bit earlier, but from 4 years ago, when I picked up the Ricochet and said I was going to go to Montreal and raise awareness about PTSD, I did not see all of this coming together the way it has. And I would like to really thank everybody, our board of directors. You know who you are, but more importantly, I want to thank everyone who have believed in me. I want to thank, of course, most recently the Red Cross and the Canadian government, who were able to graciously give us the funding so we can actually do this work in the community with the support, be able to actually have the capacity and the reach that we need. Of course, we haven't got to the point we want to get to. We are still babies. We're still sort of taking the little baby steps, but there is still time. We are still young. There is forever ahead of us. And because of that, we just know every morning we wake up is more work to be done, whether it's through the non-for-profit or our own individual missions. This is what we are about. It's what we're going to do, and we can't wait to keep going. So again, let me take this time to thank the RC, the Red Cross, the Canadian Heritage, the Canadian government, individuals who have stepped up to help us throughout, even the participants in our programs. Really, I want to thank you, because sometimes you have an idea, you have a vision, but it takes the audience, it takes the people to actually help realize what it is that you set in motion. So thank you all for having been with us. What I would like to present to you right now, it is partly my dream, partly something I want to make a community dream. It is the AfriCanadian, which is a comic that we are actually developing as a part of this process that we're doing. So what we have as a platform right now, the platform that we have, it is going to be in part the daily videos that you see. But you're also going to receive blogs, like, for example, beginning tomorrow, hopefully, we're going to start talking about different, we're going to start giving you articles that talk about different communities as we visit them. Who are they about, what are their members, what kind of resources are available there. So you're going to see those kinds of things on the platform. In addition to that, you're going to see, we're going to provide weekly podcasts. This is where a lot of what you see is pretty much the highlights of what we do when we go into these communities. But the rest of it, the chunk of it that we don't get to show you during this 1 hour or close to 1 hour program, is what we're going to put into the podcast, partly video, partly audio, and we're going to be releasing it on our platform on RCH Center/resources, where you can go and view them beginning this coming weekend. And throughout the next 3 months, every week we're going to be releasing a podcast, we're going to be releasing a comic series, and we're going to be releasing, obviously, these kinds of programs every day, 6 o'clock, every day, 6 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure to join us, make sure to tell a friend, make sure to share. I don't say this often, but I'm going to try my best. I'm not the best social media person. People think I am outgoing, people think I'm like an extrovert. I am the worst introvert you have ever met. It's just that there is something about this lens and my mission and my purpose, and that gives me the energy that I need to do what I have to do. So I'm going to start doing this by telling you, please share our work. Share our work on social media. If it's Instagram, share that. If it's on Facebook, please do. Of course, YouTube, send it to friends. You never know who could use the messages that we have to deliver. So once again, help us. Let's put the message out. Right now, we don't have as much following, but we are determined, and we are going to get every door. We're going to knock on every door within the continental African Canadian communities. Once again, let me present you this piece, the AfriCanadian.